Woohoo! And hello, hello. Welcome, my darlings. It's Saturday night. I have a date for you. Welcome, Californication. I got my beautiful friend from San Diego, Nikki Haritatos. Did I say it right? Say yes, please.
You got it right. You got it right. Hi.
How are you? Here is Coaching Journey with
I'm good.
it's your host, Jola Pypno-Crapanzano. My friends, we're continuing slightly later than normally, but get used to it. We gotta be creative, right, Nikki? That's the point of this conversation. It
Oh, for
works
sure.
whatever. Today we're going with the time. You are 5 p.m. It's 8 p.m. by me. Tomorrow, when I'll be at this hour talking, I'll be already in Monday in Australia. I'm like all over the map. I swear to God, it is coolest thing ever. Anyhow, welcome. My darling friends, let me tell you who is Nikki, because I got one Nikki at home who is a dancer. And this wonderful lady, a co-author of our phenomenal best-selling book, One, that became international bestseller, it's also an unbelievable dancer, performer, producer, choreographer, so many titles, right, Nikki? We're gonna go about all this. You
Yeah,
the director of a burlesque dance company.
I was, yes.
Yeah, you had, or you are maybe still. You are also a director of anti-dance, or what was that dance theater?
Oh, I was the director for seven years, 6 years for the San Diego branch
Yes.
of Dr. Sketchy's
Oh,
Anti
that is
Art
great. I
School.
love it. It was so cool.
So a
So we have
cabaret life drawing event phenomenon is what it is,
yes,
what they call
but
it.
we are going to pick Nikki's brain today on a topic of how creativity actually, what creativity has to do with body, mind, and soul, right? Because that was actually her topic in this book. And what's fascinating is what you guys gonna learn will blow your minds. Because when I read about this, I said, how perfectly aligned with what's happening out there, right, Nikki?
Right,
So
right.
Nikki, besides all her artistic skills, she actually works as creativity consultant. So my friends, if for whatever reasons you are feeling that you have some sort of creative block, if you don't know how to sit down and write your book, if you cannot put paintbrush to the canvas, something is not working, if you don't know how to choreograph your next piece, here is your girl right there. So welcome once again. So happy to have you. Oh my
Thank you
goodness, I'm
for
so
having
excited.
me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's just another one of those friendships that we made through writing this project book, right? This collab book, and we never met in person. And I've been to your city several times. Love San Diego. Love it. Love it so much. How long you lived there, Nikki?
I've been here for on the 3rd of March, on the day our book came out, it was 24 years that I've
So
been in San
basically, all
Diego.
your dance career for the 20 years that you have experienced, it's all in San Diego. Oh, San.
I, I originally come from South Africa and I came here after high school. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I've
the
I've
accent.
lived
I
here
was
longer.
going.
That's my accent. Yeah.
Your accent. We have all kinds of accents in this
All
show,
kinds of beautiful accents.
but you
Yes, it's
have this very
wonderful.
sexy Southern African accent. I see, I see. But you originally from Greece, I learned, yes?
My
Not
father is
originally, your
Greek.
father
Yeah,
is. Got
my
it.
father is Greek, which is why I have the long Greek name. Yes. And
Awesome, awesome. So in the book,
he was born in Greece and moved to Africa when his family moved to Africa when he was younger. So
how
I
fascinating.
was I
How
come from
fascinating.
Africa. Yeah, through Greece. My dad came from Greece. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So, like I said, in the book, Nikki is just using Nikki H, and that's how she is titled herself as an author. However, what I want to say is, Nikki, how are you doing in Cali? Tell me, how are you doing these days? How is everything going there? It's a little bit screwing with your plans, right? You can't really do much but performing right now.
Not too much. Not too much like regular, but what I have and what we have all come to embrace is what the possibilities are online. So I've hosted an online dance party, and then next week I'm going to start doing some online training and classes and things like that. And so I am incredibly blessed to be in a situation where I'm staying with my friend, and she is a belly dance teacher, and she has a studio in her house. So I thank God, thank goodness, get to still
You,
dance in the studio and
yes.
have access to this. And it's like right next to I'm staying in this little sweet apartment, and then the studio is right next door. So the thing what I'm also trying to do is make sure that I can help inspire everybody and do the thing that I like to do the most, which is
Yeah.
inspire and delight
And you
people.
can easily do that online these days because people have
Right.
access to this wonderful technology that we have that sometimes doesn't really work perfect. But anyhow, making long story short, like I said, I know how it works having dance classes online because I experienced my daughter doing this. She joins different classes, either Pilates or Racquettes or this or that,
Yeah,
play class, and she does it in the living room, you know. So it's really, really, really cool. And that's
it's
how
so
we gotta do. We
beautiful.
gotta
Yeah,
be creative, don't we?
yeah.
So tell me, besides the fact, is it crazy by you in San Diego? Are people like dealing with this good, or how is it?
I think it depends on the people. I've actually I took myself out of the public 4 weeks ago because 2 years ago I had pneumonia, and so my
Oh,
lungs, I can't take any chances. I've actually been basically on lockdown for longer than it's been official. So for me personally, I'm an extrovert. I love being out in the pub. I like being with people and that kind of thing. So at the beginning, it was a little bit of a shock because there were still people going out and doing things before. But then I think what's happened is, people realize that um, I kind of look at it in a few things, like how are you dealing with it? How am I dealing with it? How was best to handle it? And the things that in the work and the kind of stuff that I do. And I think that you just have to remember what's really important. Like at the end of the day, like what is the most important thing is to make
yeah,
sure that you're safe, that you're supporting yourself, that you're doing the things that will encourage your mind and your body and your soul to be taken care of and those kinds of
yeah,
things. So I think that it's intentions. Like what is important? Where is your attention? Where is your intention to
mm,
help you get through it? Because some of the time, I think you can also it's easy to get upset with some people's behavior, the people who choose not to stay at home and the people who choose to be out in public and that kind of thing.
yeah,
um, but at the end of the day, I think all you can be in charge of is yourself and your
yeah,
responses to things.
yeah.
so
And
so I think that,
staying at home, you just have
yeah.
to use your creativity, right?
Right.
Same, basically. So
Make
let's go. Let's
let's go, like
digging
like
in.
what is possible.
I
Yeah, what
got
is
two people
possible.
expert today that could teach you about it because that's her area of genius after
Well,
all.
yeah, I was actually talking to Olia the other day and we talked about how sometimes the most creative things come out of the like strict parameters. Sometimes it's actually easier to create and really tap into your creativity when you have I don't want to say restrictions, I'd rather say parameters. But sometimes the blank canvas and the blank page is actually more intimidating than having, this is your box that you get to work with, and then you have to actually think outside of that box, right? Like you're thinking, and if you
Yes.
talk about it
By
that
the
way.
way, guys, I forgot to say she is actually famous for that exact thing. Come up with the out of the box ideas because Nikki works also as event planner. She does tons of different, not just weddings, but theatrical productions and different college events and for large groups of people. So I actually am proud that I am also a very good organizer, and I'm not professionally doing this, but I love it. I actually have to tell you, like, it's like a confession between you and I whenever
Oh yeah, yeah,
I love everything creativity. This is like, it makes me so happy. So
yeah,
when you say that when you have a little bit of maybe not, I wouldn't call it like a little box that you have that you can work with. I think this is very true because I actually spoke with someone a few days ago about it. Let's talk clothing, for example, how we dress, right?
yeah, yeah,
Back in Poland years ago when I lived there, I called it the black and white Poland. there was nothing in stores. There was nothing the girls could dress cute. There was just nothing. So we had to be so creative to come with some sort of wardrobe that would catch, attention. So I always bring this example. I remember one of the designers was showing this beautiful, they were calling grandpa shirts. I couldn't possibly buy it. This was just a picture. What I went to my grandfather's closet, asked for some old shirts, cut the colors, made myself a beautiful grandpa shirt, and I was stylish AF. You know what I mean?
There we go.
And this is
There
how
we
I went
go.
through my whole, school time. I was just making my own cool stuff. And I believe that helped me with the creativity in the future. Also, when you study different things, when you study in school, ancient times, and then it goes through architecture, through goes everything. But we're gonna dive deep into that stuff shortly. So please tell us, what is it that creativity has to do with the body and mind and soul for that matter? What is it?
I would love to tell you about that because it's so particularly in alignment with what's happening right now. So very simply, any kind of creative activity or creative pursuits are incredible for your physical, your mental health, and your brain function. So one of the things that creativity does is it decreases stress and it boosts your immune system.
Yes, and this one's the one that literally blew my mind.
I know,
How in the right time we have. If we can help it any possible way, let's get creative, guys.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then it also focuses your mind. So the thing so you're talking about blowing your mind, right? The thing that blows my mind is that it's just a simple activity, as simple as journaling, putting your pen to your paper. It doesn't even really matter what you write. The fact that you're writing is the thing that's the creative part, and that will boost all of that stuff in one shot. So it happens all at the same time, and that's just like the tip of the iceberg. There's all kinds of other stuff. It works on increasing your cognitive function. So the things that are like your mental processes that help you do the task, like how to help you do things like attention and memory and language and decision making and problem solving. Like creativity boosts that stuff too. So there's like, I think no better case to say, okay, it's not just doesn't just feel good, but it literally is good for you in all those ways.
So by increasing your own creativity, you can actually become healthier. Like just
exactly.
Right? And I love it. And honestly,
exactly.
can I say it? Like, I feel that there's so many ways that we will cover how to boost it, what to do, how to, overcome your blocks and whatnot. But I feel that one of these things that I learned over the years, like, be truly you, man. If you start comparing yourself to other people, it kills your creativity. It kills it so badly, because you now start thinking, oh, she got that, he got that, and I'm like, and then you're never gonna, if I cut in my life any comparisons to any, I'm the most creative beast, and I just love it so much. So Nikki, you have this very cool way of explaining all these elements of creativity, and you use a simple word, play. So let's play. Let's explain what that means.
Okay. I would love to explain. So the thing that I will start with saying is actually the way that I speak about creativity and coach about it and help people with it is to actually look at the big picture of your life. And if you want to become more creative, the thing that you need to do is feed your creativity and fuel your creativity and live in a way that embraces the creativity. So it's not just about like that moment that you do paint, or the moment that you start to play your piano, or the moment that you start baking, or whatever it is that your creative expression is. The idea is the more you can fuel it and feed it in your everyday life, the like more incredible your creativity is going to be. So with that in mind, what I do is I say to think of the word play, and the ideas are in alignment with that idea of living more creative every day, right? So the P stands for practice. Basically, just do something. Just try something, do something, practice is what, like, the more you practice creativity, the better it's going to become, just like anything else, just like any other habit you have or any other muscle. Like, the more you flex the muscle, the stronger it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it for play, for the P of play, and practice is not just doing the practice, but actually making sure you put it in your schedule like a
This
practice. Like,
comes
if
a
you
lot.
were
Yeah, it has to be
if
active.
you were trying to, yeah, it has to be active, exactly. So you have to, you know, put your, if it's something that you want to do, you have a commitment to yourself, you put it in your calendar, and you don't cancel it for anything. I mean, obviously things come up, emergencies, right? But you treat it just as importantly as anything else. So that's practice. And then L is for look, and that's basically look around, pay attention, let all the incredible stuff around you come to you as inspiration, and collect those ideas and just let it, like, sit with you. So really be observant and notice things, and especially the things that really speak to you and really move you. Like, really enjoy that, really let that come to you. So that's look.
I want to give you an example how I was preparing for this call yesterday, and I said, oh my God, I gotta give Nikki this, because this like really hit my head like a hammer. So I love interior decorating. It's like my area of genius, you know. I just love it. And so I remember in my first apartment, you know, a couple decades ago, we went out to dinner. I think it was an Italian restaurant. And in this restaurant, and I was just getting to apartment. I was thinking colors. I was thinking, you know, how the kitchen's gonna work out, what I'm gonna do. And here's this beautiful restaurant, and they served us dinner. And I got napkin next to my dish. And the napkin was in this cream color with some brown and hunter green on it. I'm like, color palette for my kitchen. And it was like a drawing. And there was a drawing on this napkin of that like a half moon window with the hunter green shutters. And I said, oh my God, I've seen in this magazine this mirror that was shaped with hunter green thing. And literally, it was it. That napkin made my kitchen. So if I showed you pictures of my old kitchen, it came from the napkin. And
It came from the napkin.
that's what you do. Look around.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Inspiration are everywhere, and especially you have so many very cool ideas how to get inspired. You just go out there, just talk to people, see things, galleries, museums. For me, best of all, for everything is travel. You get so inspired.
Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorites too. Absolutely one of my favorites.
I call myself a travelholic because that's what I do. I'm just like addicted. So now, you know, I'm talking to you people all over the world, and I feel like I'm at least vicariously traveling through your like being somewhere else. So anyway, another area.
No, that's what you have to do. Vicariously, yeah.
Another thing.
Sorry, say that again.
Another thing that I also feel is really cool with the creativity is like you said, with practice. I want to give another example from me, because this gives people like different.
Yeah, please.
Not just from dancing and from choreography. There's so many things, right? For example, from practicing, I love photography, love to take pictures, love to play with pictures, love to make different collages. So I use so many different apps to create my little pieces of art, you know. And that's how you say, you practice and you get better and practice. And then people, how did you do that? Well, I only tried 10 times, you know? So if you do something enough times, you get good at anything. So be creative.
Exactly. And I think that's also, you know, I talk about it a little bit further along in the book, but along, you know, the other letters of play. But I think a lot of people think that the first time is going to be perfect, and the chances are it's not. Like, I think you should, the way that I look at it, and I think I even said this in the book, is try to mess it up spectacularly, like intentionally try to make it terrible. And then it doesn't matter what comes out.
Or something like that. I thought it was so cute. Yes, I remember. I even put it in my notes. It was so good. What the hell was it? I can't find it right now. But it was so good. I'm like, yeah, like suck badly with this. And that's the way to do it. You assume that it's gonna be bad, and that's it, you know? You froze on me, Nikki?
I seem to have lost you, darling.
I got you back.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the letter L. S.
Yes,
Look
that
around.
is a letter L. And then A, I think A is my favorite. A is adventure. So be adventurous, have adventures, have some courage to try some things that are different. So that's the one that I feel is possibly the one I like to like get people started with, because each one and deciding to take an adventure in whatever it is. And so right now it seems like there's this incredible library of possibilities to take an adventure. So we can't be out and about, but you can certainly have an adventure in online or in your own backyard or even in your own kitchen, right?
You
In
said
your own kitchen, try something you've never cooked before. That's an adventure. Put on some music that goes with the food. If you're cooking Spanish food for the first time ever, put on some Spanish music and really get into it and
could
like
be
have an
so
adventure.
many things. And obviously we have to understand this is not going to be forever, and when this is over, then we can really go in and go there. I believe that when this is all over, people are going to go so much more enjoy life, then they will appreciate everything so much more, and they will cry
Everything.
because they will
Yeah.
realize how precious life is. And my mantra and like is that to live to the fullest every single day, because tomorrow is not promised,
Every day.
right? And your
No,
mantra
not
is
at all.
the world is your playground. And I felt, oh my
Yeah.
God, soulmate, baby, soulmate. She knows what, I love dance more than I can tell. I just, what's your like favorite genre on dance?
Oh my gosh, people ask me this a lot, and it's really a difficult question for me to answer because I do so many different kinds. I've been dancing since I was 4 years old and choreographing since I was 12. Um, and I've picked up so many different kinds of things, and I really think it depends on a few things. Like, I love belly dancing because it's one thing that's um, it's very much for my spirit and my soul, and it's very
Sensual.
concentrated. But then I also really love salsa dancing because I love like sharing, dancing with other people and that kind of thing. And then I really love doing burlesque because it's sassy and super sultry and fun. So I think I don't really have one favorite. And my thing too is I kind of like to fuse some styles. So I have somewhere, what's ended up happening with me is I have kind of like a personal style. If I'm just, playing around in the studio and putting on some music, it comes like all the different stuff comes out, and it's a little bit of salsa, a little bit of belly dancing, a little bit of
Almost like
burlesque,
an
a little bit of
improv,
whatever
right?
else
You
is in
just
there.
go with the flow.
Yeah. So I think for me, I don't really have one favorite, but I think my favorite thing is to be able to feel and do what I'm feeling in the music. So I think I feel very fortunate and blessed that I've explored so many different kinds of dances, and each one makes each other one very strong too. So yeah, I can't really. I think those are my top favorites, though. Burlesque and belly dance and any kind of Latin dancing. Those
Yes.
are my top favorites.
And
I do like done over like 20 different styles, but those are my tops.
I was going to ask you later on to tell about another project that you work on. You help women to become and find their inner bombshell and the
Bombshell, yeah.
burlesque, that sassy type of dance. There's a lot of women who
Yes,
want to maybe
yes.
listen. Perhaps now it's the time. Contact Nikki, get a couple classes, and let's go do some sassy dance for your
Well,
partners.
it's so fun that you're talking about that because that's actually probably what I'm going to teach first when I start doing the classes. I'm going to introduce the ideas of that. So that's a workshop that it's called Discover Your Inner Bombshell.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
saw that.
just exactly that, about using burlesque inspired movement to really boost your self-confidence and really get really comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like, oh my gosh, Nikki, please can you teach me how to be sexy? And it's really about being able to embrace that, but giving you like the permission to be able to explore it and the tools to take it with you for the rest of your life, because that's what I like to do.
I love it.
Tools for your life.
Yeah, and that would be an area of be adventurous. Try something you've never tried before. Yeah,
Exactly.
you know, I gotta tell you, I am like a definition of adventurous. I am freaking crazy person. I jump out of the perfectly good plane. I go on.
Oh my gosh, I remember when you like explained that, and I was like, oh,
I did it.
I would be on the plane with you, but I don't think I could jump off. I'd be like, woohoo, you do it, you could do that. But I mean, then I do other things that people consider crazy. Like, it doesn't take me any liquid courage to dance on the top of a bar. Like if somebody wants, like, I'm like, that's a stage, let's go. So we're speaking the same language, right? Like, I think also for me, I've had some things happen in my life which make I've had some injuries, some losses and things like that. So for me to be able to have full health for the most part and strength, and to really understand that life is so full of magic that you should be taking advantage of that every day.
Absolutely.
So for me, I feel like it's, you know, in life, it's so incredible in life. Otherwise, like, what's the point of having, like, you don't need to be bored because there's so many good things that you can. And I'm like you. I like to just live every day to the fullest because life is so precious, and because there is stuff that you can do to have an amazing adventure in life, you know.
I would like to actually right now, as always, Jola, bad girl, always suck with this Facebook Live thing. I gotta get better at this. I gotta make a commitment to my creative need. I'm gonna be so creative that I'm gonna go right now for the first time, adventurous, while I'm on you. I'm gonna go on Facebook and see if somebody's watching live. If somebody's watching live, guys, if you're watching, I don't know it yet, but I will know in a second. I would love you to give us some sort of hello, some sort of how we doing. And let's see. Oh, we have someone watching us, and
yay!
Just absolutely love to give us a heart, a flutter of hearts, or something, and that would be amazing because. Hi, Diane. How are you, my darling? See, I never do it. That's my point. I want to be good at that stuff, to communicate with people. And whoever wants to right now, leave us question either now or at the end, feel free. Because maybe you can share some ways that you are creative and other people can get better with this. And as you see, guys, I'm not good at it. I am not getting shy. So like I said, I started this series interviews a few months ago. And if I told you that about half a year ago, talking on a camera was a no-go.
No way. I don't believe you.
I was talking to my coach and she goes, let's go. Here's the phone. Let's do this. I'm like, and guess what? Only because you practice and practice and practice, you do it. So now I feel a little bit more comfortable bumbling around on a phone. That's the next thing. Start interacting while I'm bumbling. Don't worry, guys. At the end of this series, I'm gonna get that shit right.
I think you're doing amazing. I'm gonna give you a round of applause. Because
thank you.
Yeah,
So I'm being I'm doing this for
courage, right?
Yes, I'm doing this for the letter A. Only for the letter A. Otherwise.
Because we're doing an adventure right now. Your adventure was that. I don't have anything that I can see people's comments and stuff too. I kind of feel like I should put it.
Don't mess up with your phone. Let it be.
Yeah, because I have it on my phone. So you let me know. You let me know if people ask questions or like the challenge or the invitation. Not a challenge. The invitation is to maybe say, what kind of adventure would you like to have, and share that with us, because I would love to know about that. Yeah.
So that's letter A, and now we're going to letter Y.
The letter Y is a little bit more out there. And I say, yes, you is for why. And that encompasses a few things. Number one is the idea of cultivating an attitude of yes. So you say yes to the possibilities, yes to the process, and you don't fight things. It's not about a struggle, it's not about a battle. Even when things are like creative block, that's part of the process too for a lot of people. But to say yes to yourself, to honor yourself, and to nurture yourself, because those are the things again that will feed into your creativity. And then the other thing is to in that, to not have any judgment or criticism of yourself, because that's the kind of thing that crushes creativity. And you're just trying stuff out, you're just exploring, so the criticism and the judgment doesn't really do any good anyway. So you can just leave that at the door. Like anytime you're thinking about doing something creative, just really tune into yourself and say yes, right? Because there's no right or wrong, is the other cool thing about all this. There's no right or wrong, it's all gravy, it's all good. Whatever you do, whatever you try is okay. Decide, like I said, decide to just like epic failure on the first try and have fun with that. Like have fun with seeing those kinds of things, right? So that is why. Those are the, I mean, the why is yes, yes, you is what it is. Yes, you. Say yes and say yes to you.
Yes.
And then the other,
and there is
the
exclamation mark.
There's an exclamation, yes. So it's play and exclamation, because the exclamation is actually for the word play. So it's not just a fun word, it's actually to be playful, to have an amazing time with this, to enjoy, have fun, laugh, which by the way also boosts your creativity. If you laugh, you get, it also boosts your creativity. But the idea is to approach things with curiosity and a sense of wonder, and not something that you dread, or something you're like, oh, I can never do this, I'm no good, I don't have an artistic bone in my body, I couldn't possibly be creative, which is completely untrue, by the way. Every single person can learn how to be creative. It's multiple studies have been done about how it's not just something that you're born with, it's actually something that you can learn. So that's the exclamation, is to play and have fun, and to just, like I said, with a sense of wonder and curiosity, and just go for it.
Like a child, right? I often
Exactly. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I often hear it from people. They tell me, you have this approach to life. You always like a kid. You're joyful about things. I say, yeah, I appreciate everything, and I think it's all connected. It's like if you can appreciate and go and, oh, what is that? Oh my God! And you know what's funny? Also, I noticed in today's day and age, you can experience something incredible. I mean, something that will, at that moment when it's happening, you're like, and that's what happens. The next day you talk to someone about that experience, and then, yeah, I have that. I'm like, are you for real? Talk to me about it. Like it happened. Like, show me the emotions. And that's what happens. People stop living and feeling life, and in high performance coaching that I do, there is these three elements: be engaged in life, feel it, feel the joy and confidence. And it goes with what you're talking about. You gotta
totally,
you gotta be joyful, just like happy kid, and then eventually once you get it, you be confident, you're gonna do it really well. This is really, really, really super nice, this very simple way of thinking about creativity. But let me do this. So obviously, as an entertainer, as a dancer, what did you actually feel for the first time in your heart that you wanted to do more as a consultant, as a coach for creativity? When this even came to you? When was the first time and why?
So it kind of, oh man, so like everything that I've done in my life has been creative. So I even though in school I studied, my major was aerospace engineering. So I have all of that. I have all of that, and I did a bunch of other kind of work as well. But the dance and the events were always part of my life. As far as I can remember, I was I was organizing my siblings' birthday parties when I was a kid myself, and being really creative. So all of that just was always around me. And then me personally, I ended up having some health issues before the pneumonia, like years ago, that that took me out of a lot of stuff, and it actually made me realize that I was very disconnected from my creativity
Hmm.
compared to before. So even though I was in like creative things, the stuff that I was doing was more on the behind the scenes logistics, and um I wasn't really like immersed in the creativity, and I wasn't really supporting the living creatively every day. So the one thing that happened is when I started getting stronger again and my health started to improve, it was something that I realized. I was like, that actually keeps me going, keeps me stronger. And I feel like part of me feels like I actually did end up getting sick because I was disconnected, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So I wanted to, creativity is like my North Star, right? That's the thing that is easy for me to like drives in my life and that kind of thing. So I was like, wow, I was so disconnected from it. I didn't realize I don't want that to happen again. And then I would talk to people about things and I would say, I want to do this thing for myself and like do my own creativity challenge. And then what ended up happening is all these people I was talking to were like, oh, that's totally happened to me. I'm so disconnected from that. I would love to are you doing it for other people? And these, that's really where it started a few years ago.
Mhm.
And and so I went on this creativity journey for myself, and I just kind of took everybody along with me.
Really
And
cool.
then
And you have this project website, sort of like Create Your Own Delight, right? Is it Create Your Own Delight?
my Find Your Delight is
Find
my,
Your Own Delight.
yeah,
So basically, with that particular project, you offer these challenges, either short 5 days or 30 days, and
yeah,
people can join that, and they can truly go through the process by those little prompts that you throw at them. Sometimes it's one word, sometimes it's activity that you ask them to do.
right,
It depends.
yeah,
It really, really depends on a day, but I would say that if anyone is actually struggling with with the creativity, an amazing tool to use. And I want to say another thing. So many of us coaches, sort of like the thought leaders and consultants and all, people try to write books, right? This is the
yeah,
time of people often say, "Oh, you in the quarantine right now? Why don't you sit and write book?" Well, it's just like with creativity. You gotta sit and actually write that damn thing. It's not gonna end up magically on your paper. But people
right.
say, oh, I have a writer's block. Or this, like I said, maybe an artist tried to, or a sculptor tried to put, and there are days that nothing comes in, right? That there's just this block. So if somebody would come to you and said, Nikki, so how do I deal with this creative block? How do you help these people?
So that one I go back to that's what I was saying, the like foundation of the creativity coaching and the creative connecting to
Mm-hmm.
creativity is how are you inspiring yourself? Like if you're pushing and dragging and pulling and those kinds of things, that like if you're not supporting yourself in inspiration coming to you from outside the world, if you're not paying attention, if you're not looking around, if you're not practicing, if you're not, then there's no, it's like I describe it as the water well, right? If you keep if the water keeps filling up, you can always draw from it whenever you need to. But if you don't, and you come to a point where I need to draw water from that well, and it hasn't been filling up, then you're going to have a block. You're going to have a spot that you can't, the ideas are not there because you haven't continuously fed it. So if somebody's in the position of, oh, I have a creative block, I I can't write a single word on the page, and I'll say, okay, well, forget the page, forget all of that, and go and do something completely different. Go and listen to music you would never listen to. Go and watch a show
Bingo.
you would watch.
Amen.
Try
Hmm.
try an activity that you've never done before, and just forget about the book and forget about the piece of art,
Yeah.
and then let yourself just relax into it, and let the other things that are around you inspire you, and then go back to it and
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
And then, you know,
And it also
that
goes.
is the number one thing that I would say is do something different is the
Yeah.
number one way to get out of your
And I feel
creative
it
block.
goes for so many areas of life. You know, creativity can really appear in every single thing that we do. Everything, right? The way we dress, the way we
Totally agree. Yes.
organize our houses, the kitchens, the way you create your notes
Exactly.
in a notebook, anything. So now, if you're working at home and just nothing is happening, you cannot even collect your thoughts, that work, it's also sort of like a creative output, right? Maybe not always very beautiful because it's boring for you, maybe for someone else, but it's creative output.
Yeah.
And if nothing is coming up,
Totally.
put that damn thing on the table, walk out, go for a walk. Sometimes walking in nature is the best creative boost.
Oh my God.
You know,
Totally
I feel
excellent.
it
Yeah.
so good. It's like I always wanted to do daily walks. Always, always, always. Until about 3 weeks ago, I had a full-time job. No more. I'm unemployed officially. So I'm doing now my before part-time job as coaching, all this. And now I get to actually put so much time and energy into, like you call it, like feeding my brain, feeding my heart, feeding my soul with all these things. I go daily walks. And mind you, we're doing this in quarantine. So I don't have options to travel to exotic places, you know. I have limited options, but because I love, how about reading books? How about reading biographies? How about going to museums, galleries, and check
Right?
now, Nikki, how about that? You can go now online, and every big museum
All
in
the
the
me.
world has
Yes.
virtual
All
tours.
those tours.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can read books for free these days. I was talking the other day with Jashit from Canada, and she said the classes of the our martial art class dance program that she teaches for a month free. If you want, right now, you have the opportunity to try everything for free. So use it, get
Totally.
your creativity going, right?
And it's almost like anything you would like to try is possible to try right now.
Yeah,
So the tools are there and the possibilities are there. It's just a matter of actually taking them, right? And I think there's sometimes people's it's different. Like for me and you, we want to adventure, we like to try things, but that also feeds what we do, which is also why we know we do it, right?
yeah,
But there's some people who maybe are a little hesitant and and maybe are not feeling courageous. And I talk about this in the book too, like literally it just takes you 10 seconds of courage to do something, right? You just need the 10 seconds of courage to sign up for that class, 10 seconds of courage to show up for that class. And then you can think about, like, what do you get out of that 10 seconds of courage? If you do this 10 seconds, how will you change your life
yeah.
after making a choice like that? So
100%. Yeah. So, you know, that could be, like you say, you just gotta put it on a calendar and then execute, you know, just simply execute, and it will be so worth it. So, Nikki, let's go to the topic that is such a really, really, really interesting to me. So, let's say
yeah,
if you had a woman that would like to come to you and she doesn't feel very confident about, you know, the way she looks, maybe the way she moves, and she would love to learn how to become that inner, like how to be that the bombshell. Like
the
obviously we're not
bombshell.
to go out there, you know, be the prima donna on stage, but just have maybe some sort. Do you have a course for that? You will have a course for that, or
Yeah,
can you have
I
some
will.
sort of like a advice for women about that?
I definitely. So here's the thing. I'm available for private sessions anytime. So if somebody wanted to work on that just themselves personally, we could set it up. It's generally a 2-hour workshop, but what I think I'm going to do, because I'm kind of formulating it right now to see how I can be able to offer it, but I can do it in little sections. So if somebody wants to just do it for themselves, they can totally get in touch with me, and I can do it over Zoom, nice and easy, or Skype, or whatever your thing is, whatever your platform is. But then the other thing is I will be offering them as classes. And the I can give you like a few tips on it. Right now, it's mostly, a body thing and a movement class. But the one thing that I would say to start with is consider your posture. Like, how do you hold yourself
Yes, yes,
Do you, and I'll do, maybe you can see me a little bit, right? I'll show you a little bit. But there's a huge difference between walking around like this and
yes.
walking around like this, right?
Yes, that's the dancers
And
walk. The dancers
and
walk in a different way. They have this spring to the walk, right? There is this chin, the chest forward, the shoulders
right.
forward, and it's this
And
like,
your
mm,
and your energy is up and out, and your strength is there. So the like, if just one tip that I can give everybody is think about your posture and how you carry yourself, and where is your attention? Is your attention on the ground, or is your attention up and out into the world and around yourself, right? So that's kind of where we start. And then the other part is to be able to really get in touch with, um, the other thing that I use is basically poses from burlesque and pinup modeling. So you can actually learn how to do those things in the session with me, but then that gets to stay with you. And like I said, I like to give tools that you can take home with you, and you can, I would usually say you can walk down the street with, but nobody's really walking down the street, or like down the grocery aisle. But we obviously not like not doing things as usual. But now I get to say, okay, around your kitchen or in your living room,
yeah.
or even just around
This
your
is not
house.
forever. We have to understand this is not forever. Okay, this is going to
Yeah.
end. So I feel that once people get some sort of lesson or tips how to not only move but like how to, you know, maybe dance in a certain way, and then it's so easy. You can get couple little gadgets, couple maybe like a special stocking, a special little feather for your hair or something like that.
Right.
You know, bring yourself to a, you know, different era and just try it. And I think this is so cool to be able to. And listen, if you don't feel courageous enough to do it in your house, create a party for your friends and do it then, you know, like, I mean, there's so many options. I mean, the options are
Right.
not limited,
Exactly.
really. I feel
I
like
actually I actually do that for bachelorette parties,
there
and
we
like
go.
girls' night out. They People love to, and then one of my favorite kinds of groups that have come to train with me have been groups of entrepreneurs, like women entrepreneurs who are incredibly successful, and they want to take things to like the next level and have a really good time with it. So that I really enjoy having all these like different ladies from different backgrounds all coming together to do this kind of work with me. And then it makes me, it's one of my favorite things to do, because I get to see this incredible transformation of what happens when the ladies come first, and then 2 hours later what it's like. And then years later I'll see some of them, they'll be like, oh my gosh, Nikki, I had such a good time, you changed my life. And
Yeah.
it just makes me want to do it more and more.
100%, yeah. And you know, like I said, it's not necessarily natural for everyone. There are things that are not natural for me, and I really have to force myself. Like half a year ago was video, and there are things that I flow into. Like I can dance all night long, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it could be flipped all the way around. Somebody may be very very confident and feeling good about stuff that, you know, and then this could be their area of shyness, uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and then we can
Yeah.
definitely help with that. Oh, that is so good. Yeah, I am inspired. I am so happy that you there doing the work. I really hope, Nikki, if you travel to East Coast, that we get to meet one day in person, or if I
Oh
go,
my God. I
FYI,
love the East Coast. I love New York. I love all that on that
of
side.
course,
It's
I
actually
love New
I
York.
haven't been over there for a few years, and it's definitely way past the time that I should be on the East
Yeah,
Coast.
I
Because
go to
I'm a big
San
fan.
Diego for my coaching certifications this year. I was supposed to be in Santa Clara next month, and because of what's happening, we're gonna go virtually with that as well. So yeah, California happens to me usually on an average once a year. But last year I was right there in California. I'm sorry, in San Diego and in La Jolla. So I was telling you,
Oh my gosh. I
yeah,
used to live in La Jolla.
yeah. I don't know if you heard me. I did the paragliding off the cliff there in La Jolla. So
I
beautiful.
used to I used to live right next to there. Like for
Oh,
17 years, I lived right there. Beautiful, right? So beautiful.
it's one of the, you know, most gorgeous places, really. I think it's one of the most desirable places to live in US too. Well, Nikki, if you just share at the end for the audience so it's a difficult times. We're not gonna, bitch about it. We can control it.
Right.
Let's control what we can. And let's control
Right.
our creative output for that matter. Something that, but seriously, if you could just tell people how to, maybe do something creative at home right now, ideas like, do you have like, if they go to your website, right, there's stuff there, they can check it out. You also run your
Yeah.
daily,
So like on my
you call it, what is it called, tea and creativity or something like that, your
tea
daily
and
life.
creativity.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
tune into that and you give
Yeah.
like
So
little ideas how to. Mhm.
how to do more of that? Sure. Actually, I have plenty going on my Facebook page, so you can find the tea and creativity is kind of whenever I'm inspired to have tea, and I speak about creativity, and a lot of times I'm sharing creative prompts and ideas and things that you can like actions you can actually do. And then the other thing is I have a Facebook group, which
That's what
is
I was gonna say next. That's a community of
it's
people
called
that not just basically take the inspiration from you, but they inspire each other. So it's almost on the
yeah.
order of like a mastermind. It's a collective, exchange
Yeah.
of ideas. I actually joined that group yesterday because I felt like, what a cool thing to be in a creative community. I love it. Like I love inspiration. Like I thrive. I like I get
I
goosebumps.
totally get it. Totally get it. Yeah. You know what I call that, and I speak about it in my challenge when I do the creativity challenge with people, is to encourage, I call it inspiration exploration, so that you will explore your inspiration and then, go down these beautiful rabbit holes that you can just start to see things that are really
Yeah,
inspiring. That's that
exactly.
my intention with the Facebook group is to be able to provide that regularly, and then
Yeah,
also to provide a place for people to be able to share what they're going through, or if they have challenges, or if they want to, maybe they don't want to speak about it in public or show their work in public, they can totally do it there and then have access to me if there's any challenges or creative blocks or anything like that. But then I try to provide inspiration and
yeah,
just place for fun
yeah.
and things that make you smile, like that's so needed right now,
Yeah,
especially.
the
So
world is a playground. You say it, I say it too.
yes.
The feeling every day, tomorrow is no promise. Let's go. So
Right.
we have a couple people watching. I didn't see any questions. We're gonna hang on for a couple more minutes, guys. If
Okay.
anybody that's watching would like to drop a question in the bottom, we'll attend to it. Otherwise, we answer afterwards. Guys, you can find Nikki on social media on her Facebook, which is called with your name, Nikki Haritatos.
Oh,
Yes.
it's Nikki the Nikki. That's it. Nice and easy to remember. Nikki dot the Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Because my last name is so long and crazy. That's why I go by Nikki H. It's just so much easier to remember.
Got
And
it. The group is called, the Facebook group is called
endless
Endless
creativity.
Creativity.
Endless
Wonderful.
creativity.
Yeah, and the
Because
face
that's the idea, is to be able to just have the creativity
unlimited.
always at your
Mhm.
fingertips. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
And then
And that the website was Find Your Own Delight.
Find Your Delight, yeah, which is also on my Facebook page, but I have info on, I can also put the links if you want me to, and we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
comment. I can
do
put the
that. Yeah,
links
that'll be
below.
perfect. If you drop it
And then,
below this
yeah.
recording, perfect. So, Nikki, I want to say thank you so very much for your time. I was amazing
Oh,
Saturday Night Live with you, like I actually created this Saturday Night Live.
I love that Saturday Night Live. Ooh, I did want to say one more thing. We talked about the creativity challenge.
Mhm.
The creativity challenge is one that you can. It's 30-day creativity boost, and you can do it by yourself, like self-study, and you will get in your email once a day of creative inspiration and prompt things like that. I actually I do it as a one-on-one as well. If anybody wants to do something like that and really get connected to them and doesn't know if they can handle it by themselves, because sometimes you need somebody with you, which is the coaching part, right?
Yeah.
But then the other thing is I do it as a group hosted challenge, and if anybody's interested in that, I'm collecting information, and if there's enough people who want to do it, then I'll actually do it as a group. So
Very,
if
very
if anybody's interested in that, just let me know, and then I can do it. And it's just done simply through
Yeah, and because a
Facebook
lot of
and
things can be
email.
done online. Remember, we are watching this today way later than normally. These lives go usually around 2 p.m. So the whole Europe has a chance to watch right now. Poor babies are sleeping. They're gonna watch it tomorrow. So you're gonna get tons of my audience because I have a huge, huge, huge audience in
Oh,
Europe.
that's
And then
so wonderful.
obviously Asia and stuff, they already waking up, and it's just, yeah, it's fascinating. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so happy we got to work together and that we
So
get to meet each
happy.
other. And I know that one day we're gonna shake that booty together on some dance floor because I
Heck
just
yeah!
want
I
it.
can't wait! I can't wait! I can't wait! I am 100% down all night. Let's do it.
Yeah. So thank you very, very much, Nikki.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for being such a like wonderful bright light in everything. It's so lovely to see all the things that you do, and I really appreciate you, and thank you for having me. It's
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure to chat with you.
Thanks, my darling. Stay safe and healthy, okay?
You too. Keep
Ciao.
adventuring.
Ciao.